Hey everybody, welcome to Q&A video number 24. Make sure to keep asking questions. Doesn't matter about thinking about anything. But just know that I don't respond to review requests or LP requests in these videos. I respond to them in the comments though. And please bear with me today because I'm having some sinus trouble and it's affecting my voice. So if you hear me clear my throat or something, that's why. Let's go ahead and get started with a question from Dylan Trueblood 1996. I know this is random, but a celebrity couple trademarked their baby's name. How ridiculous do you think that is? It's incredibly ridiculous. Excuse me. If you are trademarking your baby's name or copyrighting your baby's name, there is simply something wrong with you. You need to have your head checked, because I don't know what you're doing, but you're often... I guess you need a Section 8 or something. Anyway. Next one is from metaitachi. What are your favorite, or who are your favorite, most memorable video game villains and why? For him, you'd say Andrew Ryan, Glados, the rival in Pokemon Silver, which I'm like, really? Ugh. That's all I can really think of that astounds me. He asked this because after watching the Far Cry 3 trailer, in which Vaas looks like an amazing villain, and more games should try to have these fantastic villains, because it can really make the game. Yes, it can, actually. Some of the best villains actually make the best storylines sometimes. I mean, look at Star Wars. Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine. They pretty much made those movies. I mean, really. I mean, it was a great story, don't get me wrong, but those guys made those movies. But anyway, as for best video game villains I've ever run into, the one in Arcanum, I don't want to spoil anything, because that's kind of one of the big points of the story, is it's, I mean, this huge evil dude or villain or whatever you want to call him is just so mysterious, and then when you finally get to the end game and he explains things to you, and it's like, oh crap. It's like there's a lot of revelation stuff in that game. It's actually pretty cool. As for that, I'm trying to think of other really memorable villains that I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm not really running into any. But yeah, Vaas is looking pretty awesome. That's the guy, if you haven't seen the Far Cry 3 trailers, he's the guy who sits there and goes, "Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?" And you just see this guy is completely crazy. So that's going to be pretty awesome, I think. But other than that, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Andrew Ryan was actually pretty good, though. But the thing is, he's a lot like Shodan. So you got to figure that out too. And yeah, that's kind of all I can think of off the top of my head. I'll probably remember more after I finish this Q&A, but anyway. Okay, next one is from Golden Oriole 7. Do you think any stories and events in video games parallel with real-life stories and events? Actually, it happens all the time, and it's kind of cool the way that works out sometimes. Because most of the time you don't even notice it until somebody points it out to you. And that's actually kind of cool. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, just because I'm just in a scrambled brain today, I guess. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so anyway. But yeah, it does happen, and it's usually you don't notice it unless somebody points it out. That's the thing, because they usually are able to disguise things pretty well. And that's actually kind of cool. But if you want like stuff that is really based off of real events, then Kuma, like Reality Games, does a lot of that stuff. So that stuff is actually directly based on real stuff. So yeah. Next one is from Tired Tiger Cag. Do you think Windows 8 will be a fail? Yeah, it's going to be their next Vista. Simple reason is it's designed for tablets and phones, and they're going to act like it's going to work on PC really well, and it's not. It's that simple. I just know this. Trust me, it's going to happen. And if I am wrong about this, and it turns out to be a huge success, even though the operating system itself is crap, well, oh well. I guess I'll just be waiting for Windows 9 or something. I don't know. Anyway, next one is from Tasuke. What are your thoughts on importing games and those who import games? I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, if there's no other way to get a game, then by all means import it. As long as it's legal, of course. I mean, here in the U.S., it is perfectly legal, 100% legal, and perfectly fine to import things. And in most countries, that is the case. I know it's not exactly it's a kind of a murky area in like Germany, for instance, because they have that whole the index thing going on. But it's as long as it's perfectly legal for you to do it, then I'm perfectly fine with it. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, and in fact, it's a good way to. If you're trying to learn a language, for instance, it's a good way to learn languages, especially with Japanese games, for instance, because then you'll learn a lot of kanji and stuff like that. But hey, that's the only way you can get a game. I mean, that's the way Gothic 2 Night of the Raven was for quite a long time, up until they put out the Gold Edition for Gothic 2. You could only import the Night of the Raven expansion from basically Germany. So I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I said, I keep saying that over and over again, but that's how it is. So long as I mean, you have the means to play it. I mean, if you're just importing something for the sake of importing it, I don't really see the logic in that. But oh well. Anyway, that's all I got for Q&A 24. Like I said, make sure you keep asking questions, and I will catch you guys in later videos.